All right. Here we are. Here we are. Let's see, make sure. So chat box. Sure. What's up, Mo? I got a couple. I got a video and an article I want to cover about Pamela Anderson clarifies her take on Me Too and dingbats out of control. So yeah, those are the two main topics. Thanks for tuning in, man. Hey, Bakary, bonsoir. Hope I said that right. What's up, Jen? Oh, I seen the email, Jen. I didn't have a chance to write back, but I replied to you. I replied to you, quickly. Rana, what's up? Cooking Kung Pao chicken? Yo, I don't even know how to make. I don't even know how to cook that shit, man. I don't even know what the fuck it is exactly. But every time I hear it, I know it. I know it tastes. I know it's something fucking delicious. I can tell you that much. I can never keep track of that of different types of chicken like that. I just can never do it. A black dude can't keep track of chicken. There you go. Right? Uh, but yeah. Oh, but I tell you what, I am making some progress in this book. About what's that? I'm about a third. I say yeah, probably about a third because a lot of this back is just notes and other shit, which is good information. But I'm about a third way through with this book, and this is actually really good. I still got to do some private investigating, but I mean, the dude's a winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Some motherfucker got friends at the New York Times, Financial Times, The Economist. So I'm willing to bet he probably knows. He probably knows what he's talking about. But again, I want to go on my own to just make sure, just study, just look into some of the key points he keeps touching on, just to get my own opinion of it. Because right now he's just pretty much going off of his opinion. This book, the Euro, I'm about a third of the way through. And the constant gist of where it seems to go, I think a lot of it is kind of just like overwritten, but it's still good though. I would still recommend this book. And this is the issue with finance, dealing with any type of economics, is you almost kind of have to over explain it to kind of like to spread the proper information. But the going gist of it just kind of goes back to the same old, is adage the right word to use? I feel like I should say adage. It seems like it's going back to the same thing of the rich get richer and the poor get poor. It's just, and it's one of those things you just can't, at least with the system that we have in place today, you just can't, there's just no way around it. If you want luxury, then you want slavery. It's just no way. If you want luxury, then you want poor working conditions. I won't say necessarily slavery, but I'll say if you want luxury, then you want lesser than ideal work conditions, right? To keep the cost down so you can buy whatever the fuck you want. So, but the going gist of it, one, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and two, at this point, it's just like constant. It's just like honestly, it's just bashing Germany. It's just like, yeah, Germany's responsible for the European Central Bank. Germany's responsible for ultimately Germany's just hoarding the money, and how the euro. Well, this book was written, I think, 2016. It's saying how at this point in 2000 up till now, up from when was the euro made, like 1999, I think. So roughly the 15 years that the euro had been around, like, was just awful. Like it was just, the eurozone was just fucking terrible. Like it's just not good. But from my insight, so I'll share my quick insight up to what I'm on page 134 out of, I think, like 350 total pages of the actual book. Which he does touch on. My thoughts is that the euro which is what I've always said. Europe's weakness is unification and communication. I've noticed it just by walking down the fucking street for 6 years. When it comes to communication and collaborating, like, Europe fucking suffers. That is Europe's weak point, right? That is just, and it just cannot, it could not survive at the state. As time progressed and mentalities and culture slowly grew and changed, Europe just could not sustain itself. If it could sustain itself, then it can't protect itself. That you need both of those. You need to be able to protect yourself as long as financially sustain yourself. If one of those two aren't there, then you're going to end up just a naked duck in the fucking water, dude. Like you're just going to be done. And that's the path that Europe is inevitably headed to. They just can't unite, right? As I was thinking, because I read a nice chunk of this morning, and I was thinking how in America, if there's any threat, right, like from California to Florida to New York to Maine to Maryland to Nevada, that is a threat on one country, America, right? No matter where you are, something happens, Marine Corps, Army, come figure this out. All right, done. Boop. Don't matter where you are, right? You don't have to ask for permission and all this goofy shit because the U.S. is one, right? Even though it's broken up into states, but when shit gets real, the U.S. is united, right? Like we don't think when shit gets real, we don't see ourselves as, oh, you a Kentuckian, oh you'll always be a Texan no matter where you live, or you will always be an Oklahomian wherever you live. Like you're just, when shit gets real, you're an American, right? Whereas in Europe, that unification, that immediate thought to unification isn't there, and they just don't have it, right? So if something happens, well, look at Ukraine. They had to sit around and run around and beg to get money for 3 months for somebody to pay them any attention. You know what I mean? Like, the European unit, the unification and communication. Unification and communications is Europe's fucking weak point. And it just cannot sustain it. So the euro, from my own awareness and now reading this book, which pretty much confirmed it, the euro was made, like Europe is just desperate to try to catch up with that same level of unification. So the euro was brought in place, not really from what I'm gathered from this book and just from what I've been able to figure out on my own. The euro was not made as an intelligent financial decision, but it was made the euro was an attempt to get the continent-wide nationality, as far, well, that's not the right way to say it. The euro was made to try to subliminally get people to just say we're European because we use the euro, right? And that's why the eurozone kept growing. They were trying to get that synthetic unification, right? But it just didn't work. It didn't work. Right? The euro is a literal failure, right? I can actually show you some graphs in this book where he goes on, if I can find them real fast. So because this is in the eurozone. So Greece, oh god, yeah, Greece was always fucking horrible. So if anybody's like cares, maybe freeze it on your own screen to like actually look at what I'm looking at. But yeah, like the graphs, like Greece was just absolutely awful. I remember reading about Greece a while back. Greece had to literally fucking lie to get into the euro, to get into the, I can't remember the eurozone. They had to literally lie, and then Germany called them, and in the lie, whew, Europe is wild. But to be fair, now Europe's issue was not bringing in money for one reason or another. Europe's issue was not bringing in money. Europe's issue was it couldn't protect itself from itself. Right? From what I'm able to put together, Europe's issue was not getting the money. Europe's issue was protecting itself and protecting itself from itself. That's where the issues lie in. So pretty long story short, where it is Germany's just hoarding. Germany's just essentially hoarding all the money, and it's just the powerhouse and won't let it go. And here's the thing, I can't even be mad at Germany, right? Because it's just a human condition. Like I said, the scenario of Japan, the U.S., typically in the U.K., we all share the same dynamic where if the people survive in conditions where they probably shouldn't have made it out and then end up becoming a superpower, we think we're the best. Everybody needs to follow us because we have figured out the secrets of human survival and you have to follow us, right? That's just what it is. And we are never going to give up that power, right? We never want to give it up, right? So So with Germany, I can't blame because they're literally just hoarding all this shit. They're hoarding all of it. They're fucking up the economy even more by having way too much a surplus of funds coming in every year. So here's the other part, man. And so if anybody's an economist, like as far as countries go on international shit, like you do not want one country being too rich. Because if one country is being too rich, then at least two or three other countries are fucking struggling. And here's the issue with money, man. Like you can't look at money as just how much money does this person have. It's how much money does our country. You have to look at it as how much money does this person or country have, and what is the effect it's having on those around them, and how expensive will that be to fix, right? So like I stated before, which I still own up to this. I'm calling the European Union is nothing. The European Union is, in my opinion, is nothing but a payoff, an immigration payoff, right? So this is my opinion. It's literally to keep the poors out of the country that they really want to get to, right? So, but you know. There's been issues with that, but ultimately that's what it is, right? In my opinion, the European Union is an immigration payoff. Like, look, we'll just give you money, just stay over there. We'll give you, look, Czech Republic, we'll give you a certain amount of money every year. We'll give you some cheap beers. We'll give you cheap beer, hookers. We'll make sure your laws pass so you can put brothels here. Just stay over there, right? Just fucked up to say, but it's the truth. The CHRUF is the truth. Is the European Union is literally an immigration payoff, right? But the thing is, like, it's hard. I remember I got into a conversation with a dude on Facebook because there was this video of it was some brown skinned people like doing some fucked up shit in France or something like that. But he was Czech. And they were like, it was some brown people like getting to France, or it was like getting to France, or I can't remember which one. And he was like, and he said something on the lines of yeah, they're just coming here looking for handouts, and they shouldn't be able to get into our country. And I checked him. I said, well, you do realize if it wasn't for the European Union, you'd be doing the same shit. you'd be running to France, trying to steal everybody's shit and trying to get into their system, get their benefits, and so. But yeah, back to the original topic. I think the European Union is just, it's an immigration payoff. That's all it is. Because if that shit didn't exist, if motherfuckers weren't sharing and shipping off money in ass backwards ways and try to get it off to the other countries, look. If this shit broke down, you would see what Europe really was, right? The reason why this shit is still afloat is because Germany is well, he calls it the troika, but I'll always say like the top two or three countries are funding the rest of them to keep them quiet and clean, right, and away from them, right? Germany, Italy, France. I'm pretty sure those are like the three, or Spain fits in there somewhere too. But those three or four are the tops that are literally running a lot of this shit. But out of those three, Germany is the number one that's lending money to fucking these other countries. The other countries cannot afford to pay the shit back, one, and two, they can't afford to pay it back and grow. So I touched on poverty and how fucked up of a trap poverty is. Like on any level. Here's the thing, on any level, the poverty trap is a big deal, man. So when you talk about countries, and which he touched on this in this book, when you talk about countries going through poverty, okay, so let's rewind a little bit earlier. How I said how Germany, this extra, this surplus of funds, you don't want one country being too rich, right? You don't want that. When you talk about international issues, you really don't want one country to be too rich, because again, if one country is too rich, that means that some other country is poor, right? It's just going to be a fact, right? It's going to happen. There's no way around. At this point, where our economy is and everything that we've been able to slap together, there's no way around it, right? But for that poor country, that puts them so far behind, right? Because now their wages are lower. right? On top of that, unemployment's not going to the employment's not going to be the absolute greatest, and if it is, the fields they're going to be employed are not going to be any very fruitful careers because they're not going to have access to the same technology, to the same education, because they don't have money or the extra time to go out there and study and sit down and read. Like Norway, for example, they're not going to have this time. So you have generations and generations of people. When you're talking countries, you're talking generations, of growth. You have these people who just mentally are going to struggle with that shit. They're going to be behind. They're going to be slow. Like I said in a video, I think 2 weeks ago, religion, communism, and poverty are the three things that keep societies from growing. Those three things are the core things that keep societies from growing, and it infects generations. Right? And it gets stuck into people, right? Now, luckily, I think the internet will break a lot of this shit because people can just communicate and see more shit off of a $150 smartphone, which could be a lot of money depending on where you are. But I think the internet will break a lot of it. But the poverty trap, then it continues because what happens in most of the richer countries, no matter where you go, there's a massive majority of the people who are going to be on the low end of earning in that country, right? Like it's going to be, was it the 80-20 rule is in effect in most walks of life, right? 80-20 or 90-10, it's that general percentage that just plays a part in all this shit all the time, right? So when the richer countries, majority of people aren't earning as much, well, they can't spend as much money to stimulate the poor country's economy because, well, they're busy paying their rent and mortgage in London. They can't afford to just keep blowing money on random tennis shoes and random TVs whenever they feel like it because they struggling, right? In the UK or Ohio, wherever the fuck you call it. So what ends up happening is the country just keeps bringing money, a lot of the money back into itself in some kind of way. The poor country can never fucking build up. Therefore, it can never get access to more resources, which inevitably means there's lesser access to education and there's lesser access to innovation. So the poor country stays poor and the richer country just keeps building up and building up. And then on the back end, the richer country is never going to, it's not going to be in the richer country's interest to help the poor country at all, right? It is never going to be in the richer country's interest to help the poorer country, to truly help it, right? Because if they truly help, let's say if Germany goes off and, okay, let's just say Czech Republic. If Germany comes and tries to build up Czech Republic, well, that's taking money out of Germany's pocket. And that's damning Germany's future. So I don't blame Germany for doing what they're doing. It's the human reaction. Right? If they come over to Czech Republic and try to build up everything and just give them a whole big stimulus package and help them out with stipends for school so everybody can go to college, university and learn shit, well, all that's doing is spelling the end for them. You know what I mean? Because now you're gonna make another competition. Right. And that's as a business, as a business people, business country, as business goes, the last thing you want to make is more competition for yourself. Right. So it's not in Germany's best interest to try to be righteous about this shit on how the euro was initially started with the idea of unifying the country and creating scenarios where money would get siphoned back to the poorer countries in case an investment went wrong so they wouldn't be suffering. Right. But yeah, there's so much that goes into it. It's really fucking wild, man. But yeah, I'd recommend this book. Like I said, when it comes to economic, anything on a topic of economics, they tend to overtalk. But I would say that, or overwrite in this context. But I would definitely say that this is I'm only about, like I said, about a third of the way through of the actual book, that part. But I would definitely recommend it. I recommend it for sure to get a better awareness on it. I'd recommend it. But it's so much that goes into that. So all the euro did was just diversify Europe even more. Because now if you're in the eurozone, well, what do we do as humans? If I got nicer shoes than you, or if I just got different shoes than you, well, they be wearing them other shoes, right? Yeah, they lesser than us because they don't. And it just starts to hold that diversification. It It separates people. So the euro ended up just separating people even more than it was before, right? And including those within the eurozone. Because again, Germany's literally just bogarting all this shit, right? But they'll hand it out. They gonna hand out money here and there to try to make you forget about the Holocaust, and hopefully you ain't gonna notice what they do. Like I wouldn't knew a lot of that until I read this book. But they gonna keep giving out money, so I hope you don't notice what they doing. But if any one country or one person is too rich, that means somebody else is poor. Yeah, I'm doing a video modern day inequality. Yeah, I'm doing it. I got it up. You can't see. I got it up on this other screen. But I'm doing it. The Europeans travel a lot between countries. Yeah, yeah. Because now here's the thing about Europe though, and I've always stated this. The good part about Europe is that the social welfare is great. America is 70 years behind with this, right? When it comes to social welfares and being the I would say the majority of Europe is 75 years ahead of North America with that. I mean, there's still hiccups here and there. Don't get me wrong, especially in the medical system. There will still be hiccups here and there, but for the overall of it, the overall scheme, Europe it kicks America's ass. And when it comes to social well-being, so when you talk about things like traveling or getting vacation at a job or anything like that, oh, it's miles better than America. Like I said, my girl, she got like 2-3 years maternity leave. We paid $13 for Kratos to leave the hospital. $13, and she was mad. We paid $13. When it comes to social well-being, that's good. But when it comes to having to hit somebody hard, when it comes to having to be that independent soldier, no, it's not good. Not compared to, relatively speaking, compared to the U.S. Right? They did, and the thing is, they probably never will get there. At least not in my lifetime. I'd be highly surprised if they got there in my lifetime. Because their cultures are just too separate. Like again, in America, you got the car and drive in any direction, get out the car, speak the same fluent language, and pull out money that's literally the same exact money. Over here, it's completely unheard of. But to the original question with traveling, yeah, you can get a bus ticket, and if you spent $50 on a bus ticket, you're gonna drive through half of Europe on the bus, right? Easily. A $150 plane flight will get you pretty much anywhere you want to get in Europe. $200 max will get you anywhere you want to go in Europe, anywhere. In America, you're going to spend $400 just to go from Ohio to Atlanta. I know, because I used to fly from Ohio to Atlanta, and that was years ago, so the price probably went up. Well, you probably get cheaper flights now, though, unlike those cheaper, like, what's that? I can't even think of those cheaper flights. But you probably get like $100 tickets now. But then on top of that, once you get somewhere, the hotel rates, the hotels here have gotten ridiculous after that whole Ukraine and COVID shit. So I can't say that. But they do have hostels here, so that's a lot cheaper. The social welfare, much better. Kicks America's ass. But when it comes time for some real shit to pop off, Europe can barely fucking tie its own shoestrings, dude. Barely. Relative to how efficient they are with social well-being, barely. It's pretty fucking poor. Yo, AD, how can someone increase their value in the States? Man, the U.S. is a hard thing, man. That's a good question, Mo. Let me switch. The U.S. is a difficult thing because when it comes to value, the U.S. is not really that far from Ukraine. When I was in Kiev, it's really not too far separated. And the reason I say that is it's the similarities between North America on a whole and Kiev, Ukraine, when I was there before all this war happened. The similarities is everybody judges everybody based off of how they look and what kind of car they got, right? Now the difference is that Ukraine, the Kiev was a walking area. Like you could walk. Well, it had decent walking areas. It wasn't like Prague, but it was good. It definitely wasn't bad. You can definitely walk a lot. But the similarities is that perversion to objects and materials, right? That extra level of perversion. Um, uh, and I think this is why, especially in North America, it's the whole like this intrigue of getting money up. You got to get more money. You got to get more money, and then you got to be tall and all that shit like that. Ultimately, man, what from my path of growing to get value up, I would say separate yourself from social medias, any type of trendy shit, whatever the fuck like that. Separate. You have to be different, right? Different, yet at peace with yourself, right? You have to appear like you're at peace with yourself, but like you just on a different wavelength, right? On top of that, somebody wrote this somewhere, and I totally agreed with them. The idea of getting better and raising value usually means for a man to become more interesting, right? To be able to become more interesting as an individual human, meaning like if you try to find your way to a better person, not a better person, but just a more engaging personality, right? But if that's not your thing, find whatever your thing is. Your thing could be, there's people who fucking make toothpicks and make fucking $500 or $200 toothpicks. Let me see if I can find them. Like, you have to find your thing. Oh wait, this is Czech Republic. Yeah, luxury. I got into looking at luxury toothpicks. They make these motherfuckers like, I don't know if these are gonna be them, but because I've seen like gold toothpicks. The cheapest is $57 for. I know, but I've seen more expensive toothpicks though. But to answer that question, man, you have to raise your value, you have to become it. That comes from within. All right, and where I think a lot of U.S. ends up fucking up is places like U.S. and Ukraine, where they fuck where these dynamics fuck up is they put the all the value. It goes into the easiest thing to see, which is clothes, body, for bitches makeup and hair. They put it all in that and completely ignore how to even try to become an individual, independent thinker or human, or have a genuine opinion on anything, right? I think that's what will ultimately that will in reality raise your value, right? Now you can do it synthetically with money and all that, with money and and that, but ultimately, like at the human is not going to be there. The human won't be there. Like 80 said, when men age, they look like Sean Connery. When women age, they look like Sean Connery. Did I say that? I'll never say that. I probably did. What's up? I don't hope I don't know how to say that. Have you gave any thought on visiting China? Julian, my first job to leave the U.S. was offered to me in China, and I rejected it because I never heard a good story. And it was asking like way too much information before I came there. Like, it was like way too much. It was awkward how much information they were asking for. At this point, I wouldn't even want to go. Honestly, I don't even want to go, to be real about it. But let me catch up on a couple more comments. I've been talking for 30 minutes. I just started learning Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and French. A lot of things you're saying are pure facts. Oh, hey, good. Hey, Bruno. Well, those languages are pretty those languages are pretty similar in some way or another. Well, especially the Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. The Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, I'm not going to say it's all one language, but you're pretty much, once you learn one, you can maneuver through other shit. But you want to know what's crazy, Bruno? So my girl, she speaks Czech. She speaks Czech, Italian, and English. Oh, I always joke with her. I'll be like, well, I speak like eight languages, motherfucker. I can speak Australian, Irish, Scottish, British, fucking American, Canadian. I can speak 8 languages, mother. You got to catch up. But anyway, she speaks Czech, Italian, and English, right? So it'd be rude. So I only speak English. And so you know that scene. So one example, you know the scene in X-Men. It was the one with Michael Fassbender, but it was a shitty movie though. It wasn't the First Class. It was no. Maybe it was the First Class. Remember that it was that one X-Men movie where Magneto had went with his family and he was working at like a steel factory or something like that, and in Poland. And he got to talking, and he was speaking Polish, right? Well, Polish and Czech are pretty fucking similar at times, right? So here's the thing: I'll hear somebody, and this is crazy because I'll give another example how it works for English too. If I hear some Polish, I can still understand a little bit of what they're saying, right? But she can't understand it. She can't understand it. So I'm like, how did you not get? I'm looking at her like, how did you not understand what they just said? I could understand. They speak in Polish. And it's like so a lot of, I don't say a lot, a decent amount of words are pretty similar, right? They're not going to, a decent amount of words are pretty similar because it's that Slavic language shit. A decent amount are similar, right? But she can't understand. She just went over her head. Now, to be fair, I told this story a long time ago. The same thing happened with me and my ex-wife when we went to Scotland. And when we got in the cab, the driver was speaking, he's Scottish, and he had that hard Scottish accent. My ex-wife had to translate his English to me because I couldn't understand him at all. Out of every 30 words, I might have got 3. Right? And I had to keep looking at her like, what did he just say? Oh, he said he wants you to get this and that, and then he want to do this. And it's weird how language is a really weird thing, man. It really is weird. It really is weird on like how and when you can understand shit based off of where you coming from and how you're hearing it versus how somebody else, like a foreigner, would hear it. Like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the keys or like the tones or the enunciation of certain areas, like how you'll hear it versus like somebody else will hear it. It's really crazy how that works. I told y'all, I also shared this story. Talk like a gangster from the 40s, and motherfuckers cannot understand you over here. Like, hey, she man, I'm gonna go get a sandwich, she man. I'm a little hungry, man. She, I don't want to go over here, copper, man. Like they can't understand you. You motherfuckers can't understand. I thought that was wild. Man, copper, man. Age of Apocalypse. Was that the one? Yeah, because the girl ended up dying, and the police was talking to them, and they was conversing. It was him, his wife, and his daughter, and it was the police because they brought the wooden guns and shit because they knew he was Magneto, and they would speak. I'm pretty sure that was Polish, and my girl, she couldn't understand it. And I had to tell her what they were saying. Allow me to use that. I can speak Canadian, Australian, British. Oh yeah, I can speak British. I can speak Scottish. I can speak Southern and Northern Irish. I can speak American. I can speak Canadian. I can speak Australian. I can speak New Zealandish. I can speak all that shit. I speak about 15 different languages. Fuck you talking about? I'm intelligent. I know I'm gonna sound a bit racist, but damn, she aged like milk. Oh yeah, Pamela Anderson. Yeah, man. Well, she looks worse. This is a good picture because I scrolled down on this a bit. So let's start. Yeah. Pamela Anderson clarifies her take on MeToo. Pamela Anderson has a fresh take on her widely criticized MeToo comments from years back, clarifying the comments she made on her early view of the casting couch. The Baywatch star sat down to chat with Ronan Farrow for Interview Magazine, and in the piece out Wednesday, she said her mom's advice was way off point. Pam said, I could even take it a step further. My mother would tell me, and I think this is the kind of feminism I grew up with, it takes 2 to tango. Yeah. Well, so how old is Pamela Anderson? That's not, yeah, because, yeah, like I said, the legit feminists were realistic. How old is Pamela Anderson, real quick? It sounds like she grew up with a legit feminist. She's 55. Yeah, so okay, so she grew. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that makes better. Yeah, this makes sense. It takes two to tango. If someone answers the door in a hotel robe and you're going to go in for an interview, don't go in. But if you do go in, get the job. Yeah, she admitted to Rowan that a horrible thing to say, but that's how I was. Well, yeah, to know the reality. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see how ridiculous she looked. Like, I mean, well, she's older. She's 55. I'm not gonna bash her because she's just older, man. I'm not gonna bash her for that. As you may recall, Pam caught a lot of heat when she told Megyn Kelly on the Today Show in 2017, "You know what you're getting into if you go into a hotel room alone." Of course, Pam was referring to disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein, who preyed mostly on actresses at hotels. Pam also revealed to Kelly she survived sexual abuse as a child. Yo, I'll be real with you. I did a video and I showed me and my girl why, and my girl had the same reaction. Maybe I'm missing something, but I didn't see anything Harvey Weinstein ever actually did. Everything behind the Weinstein dude was just, it sounded like some shit motherfuckers made up. Right? Right? Because whenever anything got real, it just happened to be no real evidence got out, nobody flipping out and going crazy. Like, it was just, everything seemed like bitches was just trying to get paid. Yo, and I'm just being real. Maybe I missed something. I'll totally accept that. I'll own that. But with Harvey Weinstein, I did a video on it. And I didn't see he ain't doing nothing wrong. So here, let's continue. Harvey Weinstein was found guilty in December, in December by a Los Angeles jury in his second sexual assault trial. Weinstein is already serving a 23-year sentence for a rape conviction in New York. Again, maybe I just missed something. Cause I didn't get anything from any interaction I seen with him with a woman. There was nothing. If anything, it looked like the women was trying to get him to do something. But anyway, Pam did give some props to the MeToo movement during her sit down with Ronan. She said, "Thank God for MeToo movement because things have changed and people are much more careful and respectful." When talking to Megyn 5 years ago, Pam referenced an offer she received from a man in Hollywood. After going on her media tour for her new book and documentary, she's now revealed it was Sylvester Stallone who offered her a condo and a Porsche to be his number one girl. Sly flatly denied her claim. What's wrong with that? Wait, okay, now this is sounding kind of confusing, right? He offered, so Sylvester Stallone supposedly offered to have her as a kept woman, pretty much, right? I'll pay for your flat and I'll get you a nice car. We just gotta fuck whenever I come to town. And it was an offer. He didn't go over there and try to beat her up or nothing. And see, let me get off this shit. Oof, there she is right there. You don't see that? She's 55. But, yeah. Pamela, like many modern women today, skirt accountability for their actions. Army didn't do anything wrong other than just not attractive. It just happened to be the scapegoat for some heifers when life didn't go well for them so they could cash out. What's up, Millennium? I'm good, man. How you doing? Let me open up this window a bit more. But yeah, man, accountability, awareness, things that women women historically have never been able to maneuver with in life. Brick says I can't even speak English. But yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, so if you just tune in, I was going over my thoughts on this book, which I would recommend for sure. The Euro by Joseph Stiglitz. I hope I pronounced that right. Yo, what's up, Aaron? Thanks for the donation. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. I don't know why it's like playing really ridiculous, but thanks a lot, man. Thanks for the $20. Oh, real quick, I want to share another topic. Again, Aaron, you're amazing, man. Thanks a lot. For real. That's still crazy to me, man. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's just crazy. I don't even, because I'm so bad with taking compliments. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so bad with it. So I don't mean to minimize it. I'm just awful with taking compliments. I'm absolutely terrible with it, man. I'm terrible with it. Terrible with it. But I seriously do mean, like, it really does mean, like, it means a lot, and it's just crazy to me, this still with YouTube and how all this is. But oh, that Chat GPT shit, man, I am so happy that Chat GP is a thing. What's up, Chill Pill? I am so happy that GPT, that this AI shit is taking off. Because in my opinion, dude, I think that especially universities, have had this coming for almost a century now. Okay. Now I did go to school and and I went through the whole bullshit to get the fucking paper. But in my opinion, I am so happy to see universities fucking get mad about the AI shit. GPT, is that it? I am so happy about this shit, dude. Because I've been playing around with it, right? And I even wrote up some files using that, right? And I made some paper. I went to every extent I could find to see how you could even tell it was like plagiarism or use some anti-AI software to find it. You can't find that shit, dude. Like, it's generated. Like, technology has officially evolved. Because it hasn't evolved for a long time. If you really think about it, we've been stuck for about 20 years, for real. Like, with a lot of mainstream tech. With a lot of mainstream tech, we've been pretty much stuck. We just kind of just built on top of the same thing or whatever we knew at a small incremental level, which in reality, a lot of it didn't grow once you count we also got to add in inflation. When you count how much people are spending on things like a new iPhone, like, there's been no growth in it, right? Because if you remember the iPhone, like, a new iPhone used to be $500, like the most expensive one used to be $500, right? And they start charging $1,000 for them now. But the $500 one is still, I mean, well, technology is going to, of course, grow a little bit over time. But if you really think about it, there's been no growth, right? We're spending a lot more for something, for a lot more labor to go into building something. But the actual growth in in a lot of technology is pretty much negligible, to say the least, for a lot of shit, right? Again, once you count in inflation and how much we're actually spending on shit, this shit could have been made 10 years ago if we had to spend $1,000. A lot of it could have been made or come close to being made if we had to spend $1,000 on a smartphone. But we were spending $500 on a smartphone, right? So we're getting $500 worth of technology. But Chat GPT, whatever, this AI shit is getting ready to wipe out so many pretentious motherfuckers out there. I cannot wait but to sit back and laugh about it, right? Especially like universities. I strongly believe that universities have had this coming. They've had this coming to them, right? Asking motherfuckers to write all these 10 and 15 page papers and not caring about their life outside of this and all this goofy shit. Universities have had this coming, and I fucking love it. Like, I love, because the first argument that came out was universities are going to have a way to check. Let me tell you what universities are going to use. Most of them are going to use Turnitin or some form of Turnitin. And all Turnitin is a database of papers that they've already had or they got it from another school that can attempt to detect plagiarism, right? And it's fucking pathetic at that. And I'll give you a perfect example. I remember when I was in school and a teacher tried to come to me and say that I plagiarized something and showed it to me and turn it in. So I had to go in there, turn it in, and then had to explain to her why turn it in wasn't right. before, because they try to legitimately try to say, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't plagiarize this shit. I wrote that whole paper myself. But they try to legitimately say that I plagiarized it, and it almost went to like the head of the school and shit. It was real shit. They tried they was on key. They were on the path to try to kick me out. I had to go in there and learn what turn it was, essentially learn how it worked, and had to explain the shit back to her and send the shit back to her. Say, yeah, I didn't plagiarize this shit. Turn is fucking pathetic, right? Well, most universities are pathetic. If you want to be honest about it, most universities most universities are pathetic and are essentially only surviving off of nostalgia and pretentious attitudes. That's really where universities are now. That's where they are. So with something like with this AI, I love it because I think they deserve it. I think they deserve, between YouTube, AI. I think universities deserve that crumbling, the crumbling that they've had coming for years. Hey, the quick Q&A. I asked a girl to come to my place to give me a back massage because I had muscle cramps at the gym earlier in the morning. After that, she said she wasn't expecting that when I called. Well, okay, what happened after that? Did she say anything after that, or how did it end off? Because here's the thing: if you throw it out there, she might fuck. Okay, here's the thing: if you throw it out there, she might feel inclined just to do it, right? Just as a service. Because here's the thing: with bitches, man. Like I get it. Like, bitches look good, right? Bitches are fucking. And it could be scary how good they look to actually talk to them, right? But the thing is, like, at some point, the woman wants to feel like she has done something or contributed something, right? She wants to feel like like, at some point, it's a human thing. At some point, she wants to feel it, like that she's done something, that she's contributed something, or that she can feel some emotion from somebody because of her existing and triggering emotions out of somebody else, right? She may have felt the need to, depending on the whole scenario, she may have really wanted to come do it, but she probably would have been afraid so here's the other part. She may have wanted to do it, but she could have been afraid and went, oh, well, what if I don't do a good job? And see, this is the part where a lot of men's minds overlook. This is the part where a lot of guys overlook, because women are so great at manipulating and making it appear like it was their decision to just not do it. Where in reality, let's say like these girls up here, right? These girls up here, if you ask one of these for a back massage, okay, woman always doubts herself first. Always, right? The way woman moves in life is to always doubt herself first. In a woman's mind, she is never good enough, right? She will never be good enough, unless it's a guy who she sees as completely lower than her. But when a woman is alone on her own, she is never good enough, right? So usually the first train of thought, just like most guys do too, she's gonna think, well, what if I'm not good enough? What if? That's a lot of reason why sometimes girls don't want to have sex, because a lot of times she doesn't want to feel like she wasn't the good enough performer in bed, right? And these are areas where I think a lot of guys completely overlook. Like, a lot of times it's not you. A lot of times it's really them. Because women have notoriously low self-esteem, right? Women have notoriously low self-esteem. Like, it's really astounding how low their like, guys, we think we have low self-esteem, but that's because as men, we have to go out there and actually do something to get something, right? But when you're talking like just sitting in a fucking room and existing, women's self-esteem is far lower than men's. It's extremely lower than men. Women have no self-esteem, right? None. That's why women will go in there and draw on their face for 3 hours. They'll cut their ass open and fill it up with Fix-A-Flat, anything, dude, to get to get the easiest win over, which is to look fuckable, right? What's up, Super? I just walked in to work. What I missed? Oh man, I went over this book called The Euro, and it's going over how the euro was essentially just a failure in Europe. It's written by a Nobel Peace Prize winner, Uh, he seems like he seems like I mean I still gotta look into it, but it seems like he's a legit dude. Um, but yeah, it goes. Yeah, I covered that when I first started. What's up? What's up, Simon Lewis? Hey Dizzle. I bought my iPhones refurbished. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Yeah, man, I bought this iPhone 7 refurbished, which I spent way too much on it. But at the time, it wasn't. It wasn't a horribly overpriced phone. But now, but here's with technology now. Well, I was telling my dad. So it's funny how me and my dad are switching positions. I'm gonna start this video in a minute. It's funny how me and my dad are switching positions and what we're focusing on with some things. So, for example, like now, I absolutely don't care what kind of phone I have. I don't care what kind of car I drive. I've just completely tapped out of the consumer market, where he's more in it now. So, yo, what's up, Neomorphous? What's up from Hawaii? What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. So, so I remember. So I told my dad, yeah, I got an iPhone 7. My dad, he just got he got like the newest iPhone out, right? like now, 20 years ago it would have been the other way. I'd have been trying to get the newest phone, and he would have been like, yeah, I'm fine with a Nokia. You know what I mean? Like we completely flipped. So he almost laughed at me for talking about I got an iPhone 7. But yeah, he legit almost started he almost started roasting me for having an iPhone 7. But yeah, I don't care what kind of I don't care what kind of car I drive. I mean, I still got a BMW in his garage, just in his garage. But I don't care I don't care. I've completely tapped out of the consumer market. All I care about now is just making sure my son has access to some education and food and warmth, and we have enough extra time to live in peace and not put him under any kind of stress, right? Because where I started off with this live stream earlier is that stress and poverty, man, that shit is like super important to a developing community and or developing human. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those things are very important, very important. So yeah, let's start this video.
Cannot do it on your own. If you're in a partnership and everybody in the house has to work, that means everybody in the house needs to help with the kids. Everybody in the house needs to help with the dishes. Everybody in the house needs to help with the whatever. And again, I'm not saying this is a rule, but this is at minimum a discussion that needs to be had. Right. Because you have some people who are not putting $1 on the mortgage.
Right.
But then you also have some people who are willing to do the 50%, who are willing to do the 60-40. And that's fine, but your expectations have to be realistic and they have to be voiced.
Yeah.
Like we're not in a time anymore where the woman is essentially required to be in the house or she doesn't have a choice but to be in the house. At this point, like you said earlier, we have freedom of choice. I don't even think it's a power dynamic. I think it's a freedom of choice dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and then that's ultimately what destroyed it. Was pretty much after World War II in the U.S. when bitches started going to work and they thought they thought they wanted to go out there and work. That's what
actually empowers us. I think that's really what it is.
I also feel like, and you tell me am I lying, I don't think guys are making you guys feel like protected enough to be like, oh yeah, I would just want to stay home with this guy. So you guys are going out and doing your own because there aren't enough guys that are making you feel that way.
You're right. Yeah.
So I feel like
men are changing.
Yeah, we're all changing.
Men are changing.
Everyone's changing.
So is the world.
Throughout this time,
we're living
men and women.
Yeah,
We're living through the change.
We're living through
like
it.
it's gonna be a completely different reality in a little bit. Like we're just seeing it happen before our eyes. Just like the whole phone things. We had some flip phones, and we never knew that in a few years after texting here and there that we would literally survive off of our phones. So again, that happened before our eyes. So even now, there's a big change going on in relationships. Where I don't know,
society
and everything. Like women are wilding out. We just like I don't need this shit.
Yeah, women are wild out, and coincidentally, crime rates are going up. Mental health issues have skyrocketed. The economy's gone to shit. People are universally more fucking stupid. Yeah, that's what happens. Yes.
I'm to go find another man. 2 weeks later, I don't need this shit. And the men are like, bitch.
Well, now what's the pros and cons of that, though?
It's
like,
gonna-
the change that we're having, what do you have to like?
Is this going in a good direction?
That's what I'm saying.
I
No.
think
I
that
think it's going in a good direction.
financially, I think we're slowly getting equal in a society, but again, like men are not
what I'm
going out there.
scared
Men are not. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be equal with nobody. Please.
Men are not going out there to hunt a bear. Like, we're not killing to feed ourselves anymore. Like, I don't need you to go and, get that bear and drag it home and take care of me. Like,
I don't want no
at
bear
this-
meat now.
I don't want. Actually, I've never had one. So let
Have
me.
a rub.
There's anyone out there hunting bears? Let me know.
Still wanna feel
We got
protected,
decor. We
though.
got a bear hat on the wall.
That's more of a, like, it's not like a actual thing. Like, I'd love for you to, be on my side, take care of me,
not a
but it's
demand.
not an actual thing, right? Like, these days, like, we're all kind of equal in a way, weird, and we should keep it that way and keep pushing forward.
Never-
Okay, yeah. You see, again, man. Women's line of sight is only the first 5 minutes in front of their fucking face. They can't see further than... If you find a good one, she could probably see 25 minutes in front of her face. But a majority, they only see 5 minutes in front of their fucking face, man. Okay. Where do I even fucking... Do I have 3 hours to talk about, to explain this shit completely thoroughly? There is no area in North America that has shown any sense of true, genuine development that would show as a human race in North America that we've truly grown in any direction that is going to sustain humanity. Right? Since everything she's talking about happened, when women started becoming equal, blah 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 blah, nothing is. There is literally no proof of that anywhere. Right? None. And you just can't argue it. Right? Every statistic shows whenever you leave women in charge of anything, completely alone and in charge of it, it's gonna go to shit. It's gonna go to shit. There is none. There's no proof. You can't. The only, like I said, I found one, and this is just a theory, is that women raising children psychologically lowers the chances of incest. That was the only, and that's just a theory. You can't really prove that, which I can agree with it, but it's still more of a pseudoscience, right? But I can agree with it. Okay. Also, again, like I touched on, was it last week? When I touched on the overall theory, let's do this. See, motherfuckers spend a whole lot more time walking around like this and learning shit, right? Just figuring out how societies move and oh shit, it's freezing. Figuring out how societies move is, again, in order to understand someone or something, you have to learn the entire history behind how and when and where and who, what, and why they became, right? And see, this goes back to what I said about, was it 2 weeks ago, when I was talking about how motherfuckers would go back and dig up hieroglyphics and then decipher the shit and read it. Oh, well, this hieroglyphic says I'll be back around 5:16 to go to the market and pick up three dollies worth of lion heads. Excuse my joke, tee-hee-hee. They'll literally decipher the hieroglyphic in depth and make logic out of it. But for some reason, motherfuckers never put this same awareness or focus on the dynamics of women and then walk around and spread that shit, right? You could even go to okay, zoologists know this shit. I mean, if that's the proper word for them. But zoos will study the dynamic. Motherfuckers will go to the fucking forest with a camera and just set the camera up and just sit it there for 6 months and watch and observe birds, meerkats, whatever the fuck, and will document their whole life and know they'll learn motherfuckers will go out there and learn learn about the lion's history to the point where they know more about that lion than that lion knows about himself. Trap that motherfucker and pay people to come look at that lion. Right? So ask yourself, if society can habitually do this, why didn't they do this shit with bitches? Why? Why didn't they study the history of the dynamics of what must have had to happen throughout these time periods, right? That there was no point in time where women on a whole could legitimately dominate men or anything like that, right? Women, for literally a million years, it's literally in woman's DNA for a million fucking years to hope man allows her to follow him, right? It's literally in there. They can't, and here's the thing, they can't fight it, right? Like I said, was it 2 weeks ago? It'd be the equivalent of trying to get a dog to stop sniffing another dog's asshole. It can't do it. It's in its DNA to do this, right? So, but then dingbat bitches like this think that, oh, well, just because in the last 100 years men decided to give us a bunch of shit, now we just totally equal now. We equal now. In the last 100 years, bitch, you forgetting the last million years that led up to this. And so this is where bitches fuck up, because they can't see 5 minutes outside of their fucking range of view. You got to look deeper into why do women still prefer men who can survive, who show signs of survival? Why do women prefer that man over the guy who don't look like he can survive that well? Why is this? Think, dingbats. Think. Well, because I just like shiny shoes. No, bitch, it's not about the shine. It's not about the what was the reason why this white bitch put on 15 pounds of makeup to try to emulate looking like some fucking great value version of Marilyn Monroe? Why do you think why did she not go on here dressed like an electrical engineer? Because she figured men want to look at that shit. That's why. Why is the black girl on the side wearing shit with her nipples poking out? Why didn't she wear a sweater vest with the long sleeve? Because she knows that there's a good chance that men are gonna see this and go, I'd fuck that. That's why she. Again, if you wanna if you wanna get the inner workings of any species or any people or any family or any race, you have to study the history of their people, or that species, or that race, or that whatever the fuck. You have to look at the history of what they've always done. See, if man had never studied lion, and then he tried to go out there and just catch a lion randomly, that motherfucker, he gonna get killed, right? Just like how men in the West are doing right now. They getting killed because they trying to go out there and catch the lion they trying to go out there and catch the lion after giving the lion fucking all the food and water and everything it needs. There you go. You trying to go out there and catch a healthy lion? Motherfucker, you crazy? That lion will eat you up when it's starving. Don't let that motherfucker be of good health. That motherfucker will rip you to shreds if you try to do something it don't like, right? You not study. You had to study bitches. It's like motherfuckers had to study lions. They had to study horses. They had to study this shit, right? Now motherfuckers know, don't stand behind a horse, because that motherfucker will fucking do a half gallop and knock you in the next year. You see, but that first motherfucker didn't know that. Right? First motherfucker, hey horse, I'll walk up behind you, slap you on the ass. And that motherfucker woke up dead. Motherfucker woke up, oh fuck, I'm dead. It was over. You know what I mean? But again, women do not, trying to tell a woman this, usually they'll just shy away because you've thought deeper into it than she's ever thought if you bring up topics like this, right? It'd be like trying to tell a lion, you know what, lion? I noticed you like to go in this little area and wait for these gazelles to coming across. You know what I should do to you? I should do. A lion gonna be like, I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I'm trying to be a lion. Right? Same thing with women. It's the same shit. Women go, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm just trying to be a woman. It's animal. It's an animal thing.
Works
That's
for you,
what I
though.
don't understand though, because I dated this guy and he had this company where he did HVAC units or whatever. He has, you know, like he would put all the ACs in buildings and stuff like that. And he was such a fucking manly man. Like I could depend on him for anything. Any fucking thing. Like, I'd be like, I want the handheld shower. He would fucking go to the store. He would know how to install that shit. He would know how to do everything. And that shit is something that I need. I desire that.
Honest, okay, but be honest though. He did all of that, but now were you able to have like a good conversation with him?
I
Were you able
had
to
a
do it,
great
you know?
situation with him, but I was young.
Oh, okay.
But you know why? You know
And I
why?
fucked up.
You know why you like that? This is what I assume is because we grew up. We're in a generation where our dads were like that, and our grandfathers were like
So you
that.
kind of just want your dad and your
Yeah.
father.
It's like idolizing.
I didn't have
Well, okay, yes and no. The dad was okay because ultimately, what woman is craving is protection, right? Back to this. She's ultimately craving. Let me see if I can just go to his website. Just use this as a picture. Yeah. So woman is ultimately craving protection, right? It goes back to this. It's where it comes from. Woman is craving protection because again, woman cannot protect herself. Like I say all the time, on Earth, anywhere you go on Earth, what's really stopping men from just beating bitches up and taking whatever they got? Like what's really stopping you from doing this? You know, laws that other men have made, right? Like, really break it down to the core shit. When you see a woman walking down the street, what is really physically stopping you from just beating her ass and taking whatever the fuck you want from her, right? I mean, and it's fucked up to say it, but you got to hear me out on this. What's really stopping you, right? And the woman knows it. Like what the woman knows it. What is really stopping this man from just beating me up and taking whatever the fuck? Like she knows it. So woman's survival tactic is how to manipulate the system and hope that man talks himself into believing some shit. That way she can just live off of it. So so woman's golden ticket into all this shit is she can get fucked. Right. And that is the immediate backup plan for a woman to get out of a situation. Right. And where I'm getting ready to go next, this goes for cows, for chickens, and for humans, right? See, when shit gets real, women fuck to get out of problems, and men got to pick up something heavy or do something very useful or be killed and eaten, right? Goes with same way with cows, right? Well, bulls and cows, right? The cows, they fuck. They got to keep fucking. Got to keep making that milk. Keep fucking giving birth. That's where her value. That we see when that shit gets real. And what happens with that bull? Oh, if that motherfucker got an attitude, they gonna kill him first. And if he don't know how to pick up something heavy, they gonna kill him second. You see, these are the realities of man and woman, right? So, woman's core thing is to survive. How does she survive? She needs a man to protect her, right? So back to her scenario of, yeah, if I said I wanted something built, if I wanted something done, yeah, I could love that. Yes, because see, that's symbolizing he can protect. He can build and protect. He can do something to protect woman, right? Just like he can do something to protect this woman in this picture, right? Her. See, that is woman's natural habitat. Is to sit back and hope men go out there and figure this shit out. That is woman's natural habitat. Is to sit back and hope that men talk themselves into fighting off the threat. Right? Like I said, the only difference from them and us is that now we can do it with a plastic card or some paper in our fucking pocket, and we can essentially just write like an IOU with it, type of shit, right? So when they leave, then now you know the whoever did the protecting can go off and buy and hire some other labor. That's the only difference. Literally the only difference from this shit to this shit is the fact that nowadays we're just using a form of currency to convey the same ending. That's it. UAD, look up an animation masterpiece called Primal. You would love it. It's a very poignant discussion. As it's very poignant to discussion. Word up.
At some point, but
I don't know what my daddy was doing. He was locked up.
But no,
I had no daddy around when I was growing up.
That's why I'm wild and no give a fuck.
you still seen it, so you know it exists. You know it's a thing. Like
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we definitely idolize that part as women, and
I still need that. I'm not that far into this generation
Don't
where I'm
need it,
just
you
like,
want it.
and I
Don't
do
say that.
want it, and I'm cool with that. But
okay
like,
wanting
if my man was able to like do the manly things in the house, and like, I'll be the one building shit sometimes, and I'd be like,
you.
"Can you fucking help me build this table?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
country
so
where I
it's
can
like,
that.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I like someone who's gonna fucking be like, "Oh yeah, let me go do the oil change real quick. Let me go do this, or let me do that."
See, I feel like that's why.
Yeah. Your woman's nature is, no matter how much modern dingbat feminism gets in you, your modern nature is still tied into this. Yes. Yes. You prefer a man who's better than you. Because again, you see, because you see this right here. See, that child, the child, that woman has to protect that child while she has to worry about her own survival. See, she ain't got time to start thinking about fucking then. Right? Because see, that child is lesser than her. Right? See, these men are better than her. So she'll hang around them. Now the child, she has to protect the child. You know, part of it is that, you know, that biological bond and all that. But you see, she's not sitting there holding a grown ass man like that. See, them grown ass men, they looking off okay, what is it? What's going on? What it is, bruh? See, she's not even in this picture. She's not holding a grown ass man. She's holding a baby, a kid, right? Because by the time she has to protect something, that's a child. You got to remember that. By the time the woman has to start doing some protecting, right? Where at the core it's a protecting thing. By the time she has to do it, whatever's beneath her is a child, right? Now again, there are scenarios where women do like to give men the whole paycheck and all that, because that's the woman's way of giving up the power to the actual protector, right? At first glance, it could look like the woman wants to protect the man. Right, but in reality, she's trying to give up. She wants to go and give the man all the resources so man can manage it better to protect her. Hi, D. I just wanted to thank you for this information. I began watching your videos back in 2020, back when you did them in front of that door in your flat in Prague. I've learned so much from you. Yo, thank you nuts. Yeah, that room's right over there. I just did a video on Rumble, which I put up for free and I forgot to put it out. I put the latest video for free on Rumble because the audio over there is like a little awkward, and it would have just been too ridiculous. It would have just been too time consuming to fix it. So it's on Rumble now, and and I put that up, for free. But yo, hey, thanks for the compliments, man. Yeah, it's just the other room right over there. I just moved it over here so I'd be further away from people if I start yelling. Super says, this convo sums up the last 10 years of my life. Damn, it feels good to know that I wasn't a bully or narcissistic. Yeah, man. So no, you weren't. I highly doubt. Okay, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, Super. And thanks for tuning in, man. If you were truly a bully here's the thing. As a man, if a woman is still dealing with you, right? As a man, women know who they want to be around versus who they don't want to be around, right? And I think this is another area that gets highly overlooked in society, is that women are always, I put this on Rumble too, women are always highly infantilized, I think is how you say it. Women are always, when it comes time for a woman to actually make a decision in life, they always become this innocent victim who who doesn't even know how to tie her fucking shoes, right? Now, now, to be clear, I'm not saying it's okay to go out and start beating up bitches for no reason. I'm not saying it's okay to start to just like wildly manipulate a woman because women are fucking, they don't have that independent thought like men do, that fiercity of it. But what I'm saying is this area of manipulation is strong with women, right? Because again, their whole reason for their life is to survive, and they'll do anything to get it. Nowadays, it's just trying to look as hot as they can, look as pretty as they can to get to it. This is why women don't have very many hobbies, if at all, right? Because their woman's number one top priority, which comes from this time period, is to seek out a group for protection, and she'll do anything to get it. Anything. Once pushed, she'll even become a decent human. Well, that's why you got usually ugly women try to become decent humans or something like. They try to be. This is why ugly women tend to be. It's just that common thing. Ugly women tend to be nicer unless they're just like bitter. But usually, like once pushed, like the ugly, like they have to survive, so they can't just rely on their looks and be a bitch. Like they have to build up something else, right? Because the woman's number one priority is to survive. Right? And woman knows the only way she can survive is if she get man to come fix something for her. Right? Right? So, oh shit, just zoom in a bit more. You mean to do that. So, I lost my train of thought where I was going with that because I started reading the comments. Women are supposed to teach women and children. They're never to be over the men. Well, yeah. It's like what you're always saying, AD. When women are thinking as women, they never think about the reality of what it takes to make it in the real world. No. Yeah, Millennium. Yeah. Well, I agree with you. But yeah, no. What woman's top priority is to hope man fixes whatever the issue is. And if man just doesn't fix it, well, then that's just it, right? That's just it. If man doesn't, in the dating pool, right? Let's say a woman is in like a legit third world country. Why is it in these third world countries? Why is it that women why is there literally no sign or no symbol or sign that women will collectively get up and start building something if the men didn't? Have you ever noticed that? Throughout history. I'm not saying this to make you hate women or dislike. I'm saying this to open your perspective of the reality on women. Why has there been no time period, why has there been no consistency in whenever men couldn't get something done, the women collectively got together and legitimately built their own shit without help from the man, right? They never gone out and truly done it. They always at least needed man's help, right? Whereas men, that was a whole part of the game. We gonna make our own shit, and the bitches can tag along, right? That's always been the game for men. But women, they have never done this. So this whole rhetoric of proving why feminism is great and strong. Look, you only looking at the last 100 years, relatively speaking, right? I say 70 years, right? And if anything, over the last 70 years will show you that society has done nothing but stagnate and go down, right? Since women have been put in this. Now, the other side of the argument is, okay, well, assimilation issues, like that's always a thing. Until you look at the reality of the whole history of humans. Women have never done this. Women have never built anything of value. Women have never done anything righteous for humanity that didn't involve fucking. Women on a whole, right? And I'm not saying this to make you hate women. Don't be mad at women. Don't hate women. But acknowledge, see the reality, right? I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm not going to try to pretend like some other shit happened. No, you will not find you'll find one or two here or there for sure. Totally. I'll accept that. I'll own that. But as far as an entire species goes, no, you won't find it, right? But the modern feminist argument is always goes to Well, just like the blacks were kept down, women were kept down. Just like the Spanish and the Mexicans and the Asians were kept down, women have been kept down. Like that's a flimsy argument at best, right? Because again, though these races of people, these ethnicities, whatever you want to call it, these people, if you go back in their history, they came from something at some point. And guess who built that something up? It was men. You see? So that argument never fucking works. It never works. I'm mad at myself and hurt because my own mother took her side completely. Are you probably in a conversation? My bad. I ain't want to.
That's just my preference, though.
Exactly, and we're in a generation where we have different
There's a
preferences.
yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean? We'll have
everybody
you
is
that
just
want you to be
different.
manly, but then you have you that want me to be the stay-at-home husband. Then we have you that want me to be artsy. You never know. You get what I'm saying? But it's okay to have a different guy for.
This is the thing.
Okay, listen. No woman wants you to be the stay-at-home. Okay, look. I'm not saying he believes this, but for anybody who's watching, look. Let's listen to that again. The number one mistake is that you listening to what women say they want. I'm not saying he believes this. I think he's just kind of recapping it. But for anybody watching, never listen to what a woman says she wants.
You to be manly, but then you have you that want me to be the stay-at-home husband. Then we have you that want me to be artsy. You never know. You get what I'm saying? But it's okay to have a different guy for.
This is the thing, because again, we're living in the change. It's literally happening right before our eyes. So in two generations, baby, your grandchild ain't worried about somebody building a chair.
Not at all.
You know, so I mean, that still may be something that is necessary or desirable to you, but it's soon gonna change, just like your desires have changed compared to your moms and your grandmas.
The only thing
No. See, this is the other mental retardation. This is the mental retardation I'm talking about. See, this is the only seeing things in 5 feet in front of your fucking face, right? No, the desires are still the same. All the desires are exactly the same, right? Why do you think men still hunt? And why do you think women still seek out strong men? See, this is the mental retardation I'm talking about in society, because they're stupid, right? It's still it's gonna the core is gonna be the same. Like, yes, you don't have to worry about, you're not gonna worry about building a chair, right? But as the homegirl stated literally less than 2 minutes ago in this video, she like, it got her pussy wet that dude could build a chair. He could go out and build what she wanted. You see, the desires have never changed. Correction. The core of the desires have never changed, right? How it comes out has changed, Nothing about humanity has changed. We still need to communicate. We still get hungry. We still prefer some people over others. We prefer one spouse to mate with over the others. The cores are still there. Humanity has not changed from this. We have not changed, right? And you have to accept this. We have not changed. Now, how it comes out is different. Instead of holding that fucking, what's that shit called? A stake, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Instead of holding that, now we hold a credit card. You see? Instead of wearing fucking a wool blanket to cover our dick up, now we wear jeans. We're still doing all the, and they still fucking the woman. The woman still got a baby, and the woman still, holding a baby. We have not changed from this. Right? Homo sapiens have not changed as far as the core goes. It just comes out differently. Nothing. The desires are still the same. Man wants woman wants protection. There's, and if anything, that's especially true. Man wants woman wants protection, right? And it's true. Okay. Man wants woman for pleasure and company. Woman wants man for protection, right? So if you want to break it down deeper, man wants woman for pleasure. Women need men for survival, right? Because see, women like this, they'll keep up the whole charade, the whole game, women, we don't need men and all this shit like that. Okay. Let all the men on earth just not give a fuck anymore and just go out. We not making anything else. Let all the men on earth fly to Jupiter and see how just how well women will keep this shit going. If you don't need men, see, women don't mean that they don't need men in the sense of we don't need men. Women think that they don't need men in the sense of I don't need you to go hunt or build shit for me, which you still do. Women, you still do need men to do this. It's just not going to come out the same way, but you still need it. Okay, if the men who worked at that semi-truck company stopped delivering steaks and potatoes to Walmart, well, how you going to eat, bitch? You didn't think about that. Didn't think about that. If all them men decided to stop driving them forklifts that was picking the meat up in the factory to put on a fucking conveyor belt to get packaged, how you going to eat, bitch? What you going to do with the meat? Women ain't trying to go in there and do that. Yeah, see, so you need men. You just too dumb to realize it. You're not smart enough to realize that you still need men just as much as you need them here, right? Again, it just came out differently. It's coming out differently. Women in charge. Planet was shut down in 3 days. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, anything with moving parts. Anything that requires more than math from I'd say anything that exceeds 7 plus 3 or I'd say something like 13 minus 8. Anything that exceeds that would just cease to exist. Which is that is so fucked up to say, but it's the truth. You can't disagree. You cannot disagree with that, dude. These days, they still need a man. Every woman on earth, you still need a man. You see, they're not smart enough to realize they still need a man. Again, see that house you bought? Who you think built that house? Who you think is making sure the truck to keep the cement from not solidifying in the fucking turning whatever the fuck in the chamber? Who you think is keeping that up to par so they can build the house? Who do you think is making the machinery to go out there and cut down wood and trees or ship the wood from other countries? Who do you think is doing this, bitches? Talking about you don't need men. Yes, you do. Because bitches, you not doing it. Who do you think is going to STEM programs? Who do you think is going into STEM programs? Who do you think is running the STEM programs? I mean, because bitches are not smart. Here's the thing. Bitches are not smart enough to know they're dumb. You see what I'm saying? They're not even smart enough to know they're stupid. Right? And there's not much incentive to even try to get them there because their ego is so pathetic. They'll just resort back to, am I cute today or not? So it's like you can't even talk to them. You just got to let them go.
I don't like though, and y'all tell me. True. I feel like we are changing a lot, but I feel like the family isn't the same either. I think that's what's a lot. That's kind of hurtful because I feel like I miss that love that family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
we're all getting overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel like my brain just can't think.
I think also we decide to leave at a much earlier age and do our own thing.
Anxiety. Yeah. But you're constantly on your phone. You're constantly thinking about this. You're constantly talking about this. You constantly have new projects. You constantly have new friends, new parties because we're so fucking connected all goddamn day.
But that's also
affecting relationships, friendships, family, everything. So the dynamic of everything is changing.
But I don't think that's all of society, though. I think that's a very specific part of the society. We live a very different life than majority of the world does.
Yeah.
So the way
it's very Western.
It's very Western, and we live in a very high space. We do things. We have careers that are taking us to places. My mom, when she watches my Instagram, she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Exactly. We're not
to survive off $12
life. So as much as we want to put our wishes and standards on the whole society, our part of the society is a very small portion of society.
Yeah, because sometimes I look in the news, we don't even see the news. There's so much news in different cultures.
I feel like our industry is very lonely though.
Oh, you know I mean, on a Sunday night, I'm honestly watching 90 Day Fiance at that point.
Don't you think though, innately men and women want companionship, want to be together, that it may not be marriage, but you still want partnership? So don't you think the consequence of prioritizing your own happiness so much is in the end you're not going to get
Detrimental.
that.
It's
Yeah.
almost
I think it's more about we're building new norms, we're building new social
Men and
structures,
women.
we're building new needs that we're actually putting out there that our parents weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
I think you can find companionship with people that have the exact same wishes and needs.
I agree.
But I
don't
also
think I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah, but I think we're also realizing like we're changing so much.
Yeah.
we
Women
don't
are
have to
changing so
say.
much. Men are changing so much. So in that
change is
sense,
good.
it's almost hard to find people that are on the same page as you.
No. The only thing that's changed is chaos from men hyping up women and think that they're actually intelligent because they want to fuck them. That's essential. That's literally the only thing that's changed.
One and two.
And in that change, now women's methods of getting by in life have now spread over into men now, as far as with this just this horrific rate of just self-diagnosis. Okay. To condense it, victim mentality. Victim mentality has spread over into men, right? Like severe victim mentality, because that's the only way women can survive is if they have to be a victim in some form to get by to get any attention. Either they got to be a victim or they got to get fucked. One or two, right? That's it. That's literally the entire woman's fucking path in life. Is either I got to be a victim or I got to get fucked. Because outside of that, there is no real decent personality to speak of. There's nothing really to work with in building human development outside of fucking or playing a victim. And that's spread over into men.
Like, of course I want to.
Let me read this. Hey, Oliver Biscuit. Zuki says, if we were to put 100 men on an island by themselves and 100 women on an island by themselves, most likely the men are going to survive the longest, even though we need each other. Oh yeah, the men would totally out. Yeah, the women would die off very quickly, very, very quickly.
Live with like love somebody unconditionally and marry someone and be with someone for the rest of my life and have that whole Notebook movie fairy tale. Of course I want to do that. I want to die with somebody by my side. Like, baby, we've been together all our lives. I just love you. But hasn't been the reality anymore because so many things are changing in our society. We have more needs, we have more wants, we see how everyone else is living. So it's hard to just accept someone for who they are. We always, again, we're talking about right now, like compromise, like settling, or what was the other?
Literally, like what you
Being
just said,
single.
we're in the right now. So I feel like this generation is quick on like, oh, I can get another boyfriend,
Yeah.
I can get another wife, I can get another job, I can get a. And sometimes
You don't want to
no,
do
you
the
can't.
work. Yeah, sometimes you
Yeah,
can't.
and that comes from women. Yes, this scatterbrained, not sticking with anything, nothing's really formulating into anything. Everybody's lost. Nobody knows where anything is. Everybody's frustrated, but everybody's covering up with a fake smile and a selfie pic. Like, yeah, see, this comes from women. Yes, that's what changed, and it was all negative shit, relatively speaking. Yes, that comes from women. Everybody's lost. Nobody knows where anything is. Everybody's confused. Everybody's a victim, or they're trying to just get fucked by how they look now. I'll tell you what, there's another thing. I've noticed so many men be so self-conscious about what they look like to bitches, right? I didn't know this was a big thing. This is another thing that spilled over into men, right? But this is a woman thing. Women need this shit to get by. Men don't need this shit. Well, I had fucking Harvey Weinstein up there. Well, he's a rare, exception, but this is another area that filtered over. Well, it's like I said, playing a victim or hope to get fucked. That's woman's whole purpose getting by in life, right? That's her whole means of survival. Either play a victim to feel sorry for or do you want to fuck her? And that's what she bases literally her survival, her ultimate backup survival skills off of, right? But it's trickled off into men. And I had no idea just how deeply this trickled over into men, of men being so self-conscious on what they look like. right? I heard the extreme cases of the black pill thing and how deep they're going with like the exact measurements of the nose and the cheekbones and the cheek structure. And while they not wrong, at the same instance, there's much more to it as a man than it is for a woman. A woman can legitimately have her life paid for and taken care of just because she looks good. As a man, you don't get that. Right? Because you got to bring something of actual value to the table, right? Bitches can walk out there and just look good and stand in front of a camera for 5 seconds and get paid enough to live off of all year. Men, you can't do that, right? And I had no idea just how much men have turned in feminine with this. With thinking it's just all about it's bled into men of just it's all being all about looks. Like it's taken. Now, if you just happen to be a good looking dude, I mean, I'm not, bashing that. But this whole push of, I can't get a girlfriend because I'm ugly and all this. Yo, no. See, that's that feminine shit. That's that mentality of the duck face selfie. Men doing that, right? I touched on that probably about 6 months ago, a year ago now. What men are trying to do, they're trying to tap into what they think women can get away with by mimicking the woman in hopes that the woman goes, oh, you're like me, so I'll give you pussy. And it doesn't work like that, right? Again, see, woman can fake it. A woman can go out there and pretend like she likes motorcycles. And just because or video games, perfect, the Pokemon bitch, them bitches, right? Pokemon, where the mother bitches are on Twitch. See, they can go out there and pretend they like Mario. Just because she's a woman, motherfuckers want to fuck her. She can get by with that, right? But as a man, and she'll go and see, Pokemon can go out there and get dick. She can go out there and have a motherfucker pay for her house. What's the other bitch? Animarath, whatever her. See, them bitches can just sit up and hold a PlayStation controller and be like, hi, I like video games. And just because she's a bitch, somebody's going to come take care of her because, and her whole method of attack was, what if I tap in and pretend like I'm like them, right? She gets away with that. But as man, you go try to hang out in Sephora, trying perfumes and makeup on. That don't work for you. See, because a woman wants you, as a man, a woman wants you to just be man, right? And have your own independence. Women are not independent, right? That's part of what makes woman more attractive, right? Another quick example, how the two genders can go out there and just scream out, I'm single to the world, right? A woman can go out there and scream, I'm single, and have motherfuckers knocking down her door in 30 minutes because motherfuckers want pussy, right? Whereas a man, you go out there and scream, I'm single, you must be a creep or a weirdo. See how that works? Rana, what's up, man? What do you think about deepfakes? There was a controversy with Pokemon and her friend looking up deepfakes on her and other female streamers. Rana, okay, the first thought that comes to my mind with this shit, because I seen something where some other fucking, one of them other little E-tramps was saying this shit too. And this, what was that bitch name? The one who made the video, the music video. And she was like, guess who hates me? My mother, or something like Bella Delphine. See, these hussies, women know exactly where their value is lying and why they're getting away with anything. Why she's getting away with sitting in front of a camera after she put on makeup to get, tons of, simps to give her, all their money in their bank account. See, she's not stupid. She knows exactly why this is, right? So the reason why, a big reason why, now another reason is just kind of awkward and weird and all that, but a big reason why that they're mad is because, see, the deep fake already beat them to the last resort reveal. Like what Bella Delphine did. Didn't she go off start sucking dick? OnlyFans when she got tired of keep doing the basic Bella Delphine shit. I think she finally went off and started sucking dick. I'm pretty sure she did. That deep fake beat them to it for what she can sell off in the world, right? It officially, now some girls, they may personally just find it super fucking creepy. I get that too. But I would say a big part of it is the fact that the world beat them to it. Because the only part of their value in this is knowing people want to fuck them and they haven't given it to them yet. It's stringing them along, right? They talk about this with their girlfriends, even mothers and aunts, right? These are full conversations they have amongst their other female family members, how they're stringing men along. This is no secret. Maybe to men, but to bitches, no, they know it. All these girls in this video, they've all had the conversations, whether it was their sister, their mother, their aunt, or their niece, or their other female colleagues, wherever they are. They've all had the conversation. The reason why deep fakes is now again, like it would be awkward to see yourself that when you didn't fuck somebody on camera. I get that, but be real about it. See, the act of sex is of no importance to woman, like how society really wants to think it is, right? But the importance is who did she give it out to and who's gonna find out about it, and did she get mad because she couldn't string it out longer, right? So motherfuckers will hate me for saying that because, again, when you talk about any topic like this, the woman is immediately an innocent angel. But see, people like me will actually dissect the psychological reality of why and what she's saying and what she's doing. That would guarantee you that will play if you hook their brain up to fucking be analyzed by her answers and what I'm asking her, I would guarantee you a big part of it of why she would be mad is because she was beat because she got beat out of her final end game of it. Because you know how long people been pasting, one girl's picture on a naked girl's body? That's nothing new. How long have we been doing that? Pasting some girl's body, face that you have a crush on a naked girl's body. And guys, Jack, I've never done it, but I've heard of it. It's totally a thing, right? That's not the problem. It's the problem that says that technology beat her to her final end game of keeping her army of simps surrounding her.
And sometimes we don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And there was a time where we came outside, sat on our stoop, talked to our neighbors, knew everybody outside, the kids playing, Adam down the street. Yeah. You were on the phone, curling your toes, like, yeah, what you gotta, you know what I'm saying? But we don't even take that time to really get to know people anymore.
Look at your social media and we're like, oh, I know you now.
Oh, he got nice pictures. He must have money whole time. He ain't got a box to put a foot in. You know what I'm
pot
saying?
to piss in or a window to throw it out.
I think that's where it got us to be where we are now because of, I think, social media. Because I feel like it made us be a judge to everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't want a woman to do this. I don't want a man to do this. I don't want to, because you see all of this online and you think you're supposed to demand that.
And then sometimes I feel bad for how I am. Like, I'm just like, well, I am more domestic and I am more dependent. Like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, listen, I don't want to be the breadwinner of the house. I love a powerful, strong, providing ass man. That is attractive. That makes the water wet,
Yes, you are not special. Why is this such a revolution for bitches to realize that they bitches? You mean, like, why is this a revolution? Why is it such a revolution? Women are so confused in laws. They think that they're actually making a new path in life by realizing that they bitches. They so confused that it takes this huge revolution to realize that they women. There's nothing different about you. This is literally every fucking woman on earth. You are not special. Listen to this. This is crazy.
Listen, I don't want to be the breadwinner of the house. I love a powerful, strong, providing ass man. That is attractive. That makes the water wet. It makes the wave come.
Well,
so I need that.
How about this? Like, you said we have a lot of options. One of y'all said that. What is the consequence of you thinking you got all of these options,
don't.
and you do not, in fact, have these options.
Cats.
You think you have options
Sims.
because of social media for the same reason. You think you have these options because of social media, and because everybody seems so disposable, and everybody is on to the next one. You know, when you get a certain age and you like, damn, I ain't got nobody, like, now what?
So
because you just thought you could dispose of people and keep it moving.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I kind of
No patience whatsoever with
pandemic. I was like getting rid of people, and then I realized during the pandemic, I was like, maybe I'm a little too harsh. Like maybe I gotta go revisit some friendships. You get what I'm saying? But then sometimes you gotta close the door. But I feel like I get what you're saying. I
It's
feel
so
like
confusing.
Yeah, it is. It's
There's
like-
this study that was done on children when they go into an ice cream shop that has 3 flavors. And then there's one that when they go into ice cream that had like thousands. And the brain was more satisfied with the ice cream shop that had 3 flavors than the one that had thousands. And I feel like that's a very good applicable
my
thing
goodness.
on our dating scene. Because when I'm on Hinge and I'm flipping,
Brains are going crazy.
Yes. Well, this is just basic knowledge, really. But yes. But see, this is what happens when femininity got cut loose on a society. When femininity got cut loose, and if anything was glorified and worshipped, where people start following women, this is the outcome. Right? Nobody knows anything. Everybody's jumping from one thing to the next. There's no sense of solidarity in anything. Have you noticed? Okay, here, let's look. Let's what was it? Like 19. Let's see that. Oh, wait, let me do, yeah. So, okay, yeah, so let's look at this. Oh, so wait, divorce rate in the U.S. No fault divorce, it started skyrocketing. So, okay, so it's actually going down. So, into World War II, so divorce rates were going up per 1,000 population. So divorce rates have literally kept going up since then. They started to go down, and this after, okay, per 1,000 no fault divorce laws. Then they went up right around 1970, blah blah blah. So right around here, then okay, they're going down. They're going down. But also marriage rates are going down. So this is, okay, yeah, so this is not very, what's the right word I'm looking for? Informative, based off of just this one. This is the one you want to look at. So the marriage rates are going down. Yeah, the divorce rates are going down because the marriage rates are going down. So actually, that really wasn't a great scenario. So, because what I want to focus on is roughly around the 70s and 80s. After that third wave feminism really fucking took off. Oh, this is Michigan. Well, let's look at Michigan. Fuck it. So marriage rates, yeah. So yeah, okay, yeah. So the point I'm making with this, well, this is just Michigan, but the point I'm making with this is, after women got out in the world to be independent, right? And they no longer needed men, the marriage rates, well, they went down. Divorce rates pretty much went alongside of them. At the same time, let's look up. $70. Rid of single over time. Yep. And it skyrocketed. It skyrocketed. Single parents in the U.S. over time. Yep. Right after feminism took off, single parents went up the fucking, it skyrocketed. It skyrocketed. Yeah. Then we got this little time with COVID right here. Yeah, I forgot to add that in. Yeah, so COVID's there's gonna be a dip. Everything's gonna have this dip. Like, oh, can I move this? Everything's gonna have that dip right around the year 2020. But it's skyrocketed. Yeah. The rate, well, yeah. The rates are the divorce rates are going down because marriages are going down because women are starting to think that because women are being put in this fucking in the driver's seat of life, so they think that they don't need a man because they're literally just eating off of men, and they don't need the man in the home anymore. So that it is a bit misleading, but yeah. 80, I'm a very attractive man, and you got way more women than me. You're right. It's not about looks for men. Black pill. Yo, yeah. What? I'm not gonna say I gotta. Okay, I'm just weird about who I classify as a woman I have versus like who I don't have. I'm just weird about that.
Flipping out my bro, like I don't know, like none of this.
And I don't do good with too many choices.
No, same.
I don't do good with that shit.
I do think that we have too many choices to feel.
I'm about to self-sabotage.
Yeah, you have too many choices to feel satisfied, which goes into the marriage. I already click off of that. The marriage rate, the divorce rates, because as women got more options, the marriage rates went down. Which when the marriage rates go down, the divorce rates are going to go down too. That's just. Let me find a better fucking graph. Yeah, so pretty much around the time, yeah. So this looks good. Department of Household Registered Ministry. Oh, this is Taiwan. I'm looking for America because that's more. But that's crazy. Even in Taiwan, it's the same thing. Fuck it. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
What's up, crispy bacon?
Yeah, so now it's just like I'm about to get sick. I'm about to eat all these shits. That ice cream, that one, I'm about to try that one. You know, like it's not good to have too many options because then when you taste one you like, you still like, do I really love it though?
It might be
Let me try that. Let me try that strawberry pineapple cheesecake.
Yeah. No, we're exposed to a lot of choices.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is, because when you grow up in a neighborhood and you go to high school with a group of people and you guys live in a certain neighborhood and you're just like, okay, I'm going to hang out with the people that are in my jurisdiction, then things are not as difficult.
This is Paula in New York, 32,
Yeah.
cybersecurity, no kids, is a Leo. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I would probably say, like, especially nowadays, probably like intelligent. And, you know, I think that nowadays I'm starting to notice a lot of men like don't really think, or like people in general don't really think.
Well, men are not allowed to say anything of intelligence out loud because you're gonna beat them up for it. That's why men can't, because men are not allowed to talk in at work or anywhere. If a man says anything of actual intelligence, you're gonna beat him up for it because he didn't say it nice. So he can't talk.
And it's kind of like really weird. Like I think people, for the most part, are kind of thinking at the level of the memes that they collect, and I'm kind of over it. You know, I'm even like hearing conversations that even sound like some of the posts that I'm seeing. And I think people don't really think for themselves anymore, and it's just really weird.
Okay, so if you want somebody intelligent, that's high on the list. What's some deal breakers?
I would probably say being too content. Like I like working hard, you know, like I'm pretty self-sufficient, and you know, thank God, like, you know, I'm pretty blessed. But you know, there's some guys that I've seen that are just really, really content. And I think that like being really content is kind of a turn off. And it's not necessarily about like a dollar amount or anything along those lines, because my ex actually had like a good amount of money. We're not even gonna get into that, but he actually was not as ambitious for a person that was pretty well off. And it didn't necessarily do anything for me in who I am. You know what I mean? It didn't help me it didn't inspire me. You know what I mean? So I like people that work hard and are ambitious.
Okay, so she wants an ambitious man. Can he have kids?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want kids yourself?
I want whatever's meant for me. That's all.
Okay. Does the guy have to be in New York?
No.
No. If he's
Oh God! No, right there. Okay, that summed up a lot. That summed up her whole problem. She's in New York. she's in New York. That's going to be her problem. No, okay. This is a 32-year-old woman in New York. I'm assuming New York City or somewhere close to New York City with the dominance of her voice and the confidence in her shit. If I had to guess, she's somewhere in New York City. This woman is 32 years old. Can put on makeup to appear to look, I'd say, 5 or 6 years younger. And she's trying to look for some above average man, right? At this, or I say this all the time, by the time any man is gonna take her seriously, that she think that she wants, he gonna be, no, he's not gonna want. Okay, any man who she's really gonna want is not gonna want her. She's right at that age. At 32, she's right at that age. It's over. And she got some education on her too. She's got some education. She doesn't look that bad. And she's 32, and she's smelling her own shit. She's smelling herself living in New York. That's done. Nothing you could do with that. Maybe if she went off the fucking, maybe if she went to Ohio, she could pull, she goes, well, even then, because I told y'all a story a while back. I had an aunt, the aunt who died, and I got the first MacBook. We used to talk, and I never even told my family these stories. We used to talk, and my aunt, she was a beautiful woman. She had an associate's degree, but she was older, so that was a big thing back in those days. Now associate's degree really ain't a whole lot in America, but she had a degree. I'll tell you a story real quick. She reminds me, whenever I see black women like her, I think about my aunt, man. She was great. I loved her as an aunt, but the reality of her in the dating market, and I have a cousin like that, like in the same boat. My aunt had her house paid off. She had a nice house too. It was cool. It was the area wasn't the greatest, but the house was nice. When you went inside her house, it looked like a museum, right? A museum. It looked like something you would walk. It looked like a legitimate museum when you walked in there. Her cars were paid for. She had all nice shit in there. Her job, but where it fucked up was she could never keep a man. And she worked in a factory, right? So imagine a woman who's like in her caliber of woman working in a factory, but thinking that she deserves some, how you call like a high caliber man. Like, no, bitch, like you work in a factory. You know what I mean? Like, no, like there is, okay. By the time these women end up in this position where they can't find a man, but they look great, I'm telling you, these are the more fucked up ones. These are the ones you don't want to talk to, right? Because if she looks that good and she's that confident, there should be somebody in her friends group or circle or work group and colleagues. Somebody should know somebody. So if all these people know her and walked away from her, there's a reason why she had to go to YouTube to look for a man. There's a big reason why. I told you a story a while back. I have a cousin like that too. Now I don't think she ever finished her education. No, I think she did get an associate's degree, and she was running around in Atlanta for a while. And I went and stayed with her for a little while too. And she was in love with this dude who was I forget, it was some job in police, and he was flying helicopters, right? And she was in love with it. And I knew back then this motherfucker is playing her, dude. Like I knew back then. And she was hitting her mid to late 30s back then. Like I already knew what it was. You know what I mean? Like, and my cousin, she's not crazy, but she's off. Like she's okay. She's one of them type of women who. Okay, she's the strong, like what she thinks. Okay, what a strong modern feminist is now. She was that back then, right? Like, and she would do any mental gymnastic to convince herself that she's right. Any mental gymnastic, right? And I knew back then, I knew back then he wasn't taking her serious. And she would wait for him to call and want to talk about him for 20, 30 minutes. And that motherfucker was nowhere to be found until he wanted some pussy. Right? But again, with girls like this, by the time they end up on the internet looking for men, you don't want this. Okay? You be better off with that 5.5 that, you know what I mean, who's giving you some attention somewhere else, and you know more, you see her with other people or something. Like you be better off with that 5.5 that work at Wendy's or something a lot of times, and then to take this serious. Because trust me, dude, if she's so fucking great, if she's so great and amazing and strong and intelligent and creative and passionate and willful, then why did every other man who's seen her, why have so many men seen her, talked to her, and didn't work out before you? Right? The only common denominator that all they have is dealing with her. You don't want this. You trust me, dude. You do not want this one. You do not want a woman like this.
I think that's the gentleman thing to do.
Are you giving him something if he flies you out?
Depends on the vibe.
Depends on the vibe. Okay.
Depends on the vibe.
Everyone's saying you are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Does the guy have to look a certain way?
I will have to say, like, I am a little bit of like a person when it comes to height. Like, I don't, like I'm actually only 5'4", so but like 5'10" in guy inches is really like 5'6", right? So but like 5'10" is okay, right? Like, it's not that bad. Like, I'm maybe like 5'10" and up. That's probably like like I think just tall is like pretty much it. But I've dated guys of like different races, different ages. Just it doesn't really.
Let's go there with it. What's the age range?
So, since I'm 32, like, I do like a guy to be older. I don't know what's going on in my early 30s, but all these young guys are starting to like reach out, like, trying to like get in my DMs. I'm like, oh boy, like, what in the world? So
yeah, because they the only ones dumb enough to fall. They the only ones dumb enough to see a 32-year-old woman and think that a 32-year-old woman that's desperately single and think it's a good idea to talk to her. So somebody asked, what is it? Okay, so Rana, I'll go over that. When this is over, I'll try to pull up some women. I'll say who I say is like a 5'6". I'll give my rankings on it. But I'm gonna let this play out first.
Yeah, so I'd like to stay over my age. Like, I don't, I would like for them to be like, older than 32. But can't be like super, super old. My dad would be like, what the hell? Like,
Okay. Does he gotta make a certain amount of money?
No, not necessarily. Like, like I said, it's like, to me, sometimes it's more so about your ambition and your plan. You know what I mean? Because, is there a guy that's in medical school wanting to reach out? Is your plan set? Because if your plan is set, well, then maybe we can work something out. You know what I mean? And you're not probably making that much, money right now. But are you ambitious? Do you have a good plan? And then that, to me, it makes sense. Versus some people who don't necessarily have a plan, not really ambitious. And, like I said, my ex was very well off, and he wasn't like, he didn't motivate.
I'd say, hey, Ronnie,
like,
send me some examples of women.
A couple of times. So, we're
or write some down in the comment section of what I'll give.
Oh, I don't really know. I don't even know if I should say that. He's not going to see this. I don't know the exact dollar amount at all. I will have to say, though, that out of frustration, his, because, like co-parenting with his ex and stuff like that, he did state how he gave her tens of thousands a month. And I feel like, and mind you, he was a like managing partner at a, boutique private equity firm. So, like basically like investor or whatever. So he used to give her tens of thousands in alimony every month. So I used to try to kind of gauge it by listening in on these little details. You know what I mean?
So he was giving more than 120,000 a month.
No, he was giving tens of thousands.
I'm
saying
like
20.
I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
Times 12 is 120. That's what I was thinking. But okay.
Yeah,
so
but
well
I would
enough to
say probably and then I remember him also saying this one time where he was something about when his kids upset him about something. He said, I pay $60,000 for you to go to school, just one, to go to private school, for you to do something so silly, right? So it was I'm like, how much does this guy make? So he has 3 kids, so I've been really busy with my career, and I got into this relationship knowing that he wasn't necessarily exactly what I want. I didn't think we were on the same page. Now, I think that it's kind of I think dating is kind of there's a bunch of people, they all want to go on a road trip or something like that. And when you get into car with people, and let's say you vibe with them, sometimes you don't realize that this person wanted to go to California and this person wanted to go to Florida. And you guys are just simply not on the same page. And I kind of went into the relationship kind of knowing that we're not on the same page. and we don't want the same things. So like, it was a nice, chill relationship. Like, you know, we could sit around like saying like, okay, like, you know, we can do the compromises, who's going to drive when, who's going to play which radio station, what, we could do all of that, right? But at the end of the day, like years later, it's like, I already knew that we're just simply not on the same page.
Got you.
Yeah,
That's what the kids
and I knew it, so.
That's what the kids can. That's when you stand up and we see your program.
Okay. Hopefully. All right, I'm like a little loaded right now, so nobody like, you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm just.
You look good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask. When's the
You
last
don't
time
want to tell you,
said
dude.
there was
You don't want this shit.
someone?
You don't want this shit.
I wouldn't really answer, but I'll say it was within the past 6 months.
Okay, fair enough. So why do you think you're single, Paula?
I think I'm single. It's because, you know, like I said, with my ex especially, and I actually did this with my ex before that too. I was kind of focused on other things, and I think just naturally as human beings, we want like companionship. And when we do enter these situations in which we know they may not be on the same page as you, or that their end goals are not the same as yours. And I kind of like sat around and like wasted a lot of time like with the guy that, even though I could stand him, he's intelligent, great qualities, but our end goals didn't match up. I was only really doing it for companionship because I was focusing on other things versus being like a girl that's out here just dating all the time. Like I don't really, nobody really wants you to just be out on a date every other night. So you just go into
Are you making room now for a relationship? Is it gonna be like a priority for you? Because
yeah, I'm not gonna like go ahead and like waste my time because, you know, like I said, I kind of did it twice. So because I was just focusing on other things and like companionship and everything, it's like, and when they want to take it further, I'm just like, well, we're not really on the same page with this. So, you know, and then it kind of comes to light. So sorry, my cat is like running around like crazy.
Yeah, you don't see a lot more of that cat.
And she's a little weird. So like, I'm not into like wasting my time or anybody else's time anymore. Like, yeah, I'm just not really into that. So, you know, yeah, I guess like I said, like for anything in the future, kids or anything like that, I just want what's meant for me. So I'm not really looking or going crazy for like, you know, like all over the place or anything like that. Like my friends like pushed me to go on this show. Like, and I'm like, okay, why not? Like, you know.
Your friends pushed you to go. That's how bad of a human you are in life. As a woman, see, men don't have the same benefits women have in the dating market. But as a woman, if your friends if women always, for some reason, they always think that's a good excuse. My friends made me sign up for this. No, bitch, that's worse. That is worse. If your friends push you, your friend said, look, you are so undesirable that we don't want to introduce you to anybody that we know. So we gonna push you out there into the fucking unknown and have you go figure it out by yourself. Right? That's big for women. Women don't move like this. Women do not move like this. When it's people who they like and care about being around and shit like that, women don't. No. She is so bad that her friends had to push her into online dating. So he said, get the fuck away from us. We're not introducing anybody we know, anybody we may know. None of that. For some reason, women think that I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe some romance movie, some rom-com from years ago. I don't know where it came from, but they think that that's a good excuse. And in reality, though, it's worse, bitch. That's worse. Your friends looked at you and said that you're not desirable. And again, it's even like yo, look. The better she looks, the worse they are. Again, the better she's going to look, the worse it's going to be in reality to deal with her. If her own friends told her to go on online dating, that's bad. That's bad. And she's getting older, so it's time for her to start thinking about a family. It's getting too late. She's getting old. You be talking about something, I don't like you. No, bitch, you need to go find a man and make a family. You getting too old. It's not cute. It's not sexy. I would say it would be admirable if you was ugly or something. But no, this is all wrong. All of this is the wrong shit. Lori Harvey. Oh, that's Steve Harvey's daughter, you said? Let me see. Harvey. Oh, I give Lori Harvey. Okay, personally, one thing that sticks out to me, and this is just a me personal thing, I don't like her, not this chin, but like I don't like that part. And that's just a weird. I'm just picky. I'm being picky as fuck. But I would say in the dating market, let's see this. This is like a more natural picture. I would say in the date, I see, she looks good. I would say she looks. I would give her just if she literally just shut up and just stood there and didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like if she literally just shut the fuck up and just stood up, I would a solid, for my taste, I say about a 8. I say a solid 8. 8.5. And that's if she just didn't talk. Just stand her up, just exist. Right? Now I'm sure once she start talking, it's gonna go down after that. But as long as she just shut the fuck up and stood there, I give her an 8. 8.5. Oh, so it's his stepdaughter. Okay. Solid black 6. Her friend pushed her to join the show, but didn't recommend a blind date for her. What does that say about her? Ron Bielsa, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that Oh, okay, MG Verde, I got you. Okay, his stepdaughter. Obviously, her ex was a millionaire, but she acts like she left him and knew it will work from the jump and just stayed for companionship. Can you break that down? Oh, well, okay, yeah. So back to this girl, this girl, yeah. See, because this girl knew that she could fit into a certain niche of attractiveness and pull guys off of that. They kind of like that. They kind of Sade, is that how you say her name? Sade, kind of that realm of look. So she knows that she can crawl up in anybody's bedroom, and it went to her head, right? Her thing, okay, I can tell just by how she just is. Her mentality is so far removed from actually having any type of genuine relationship and possibly starting a family. Her mentality is so far removed from that. I say that's probably the pushing factor in why she can't find a man, right? That's the pushing factor. She's just so far, like, she's gotten so used to playing these games that most women don't even have a personality, but she has no legitimate awareness on any actual reality as far as being a partner, right? None. She knows how to play these fake roles. She's probably watching a movie here or there, but when it comes time to actually approach her with a real conversation, she doesn't know how to do it. She's not gonna know how to do it. Now, every woman always says she's looking for a guy who can have a good conversation. What woman usually means when she says it is she wants a guy who can direct and lead and pretty much carry the entire conversation by himself and give her something to think about later. That's usually what women mean by carry a man who can have a good conversation. It's not a conversation. Most women are looking for a teacher, right? So that's why when you get a woman, you get married to her, whatever the fuck, that's why she always starts to take on whatever hobby you have. Like, she's never going to make her own. She's never going to make her own shit. Like, never. You know what I mean? If she does do that, now she's looking for another man, right? Or she's already with another man, right? What's up, D-Mom Show? What's up, man? But the companion, okay, and so and she stayed for the companionship. So I'll dive into that. She stayed with the companionship to be with a guy who, okay, this is the other part of woman psychology. Okay, unless the guy was just like, unless she truly seen the guy as like truly mentally beneath her or something like that, if he had any value such as being a millionaire or being like a very popular person or something like that, unless the guy was like severely mentally inferior to her in terms of dominance in a relationship, she's gonna stay with him until she can at least piggyback to something else, right? Because here's the thing, as long as she stayed with that guy, she figured that another millionaire would see her and piggyback off to that guy, right? Now, in reality, the millionaire dude probably he left her, right? He left her. I would say just from the sheer fact that she's now had to go on an online dating show, her ego has been so hit and destroyed by it that going on the online dating show didn't even hurt, right? Because he left her. I would guarantee it. The millionaire guy cut it off. Probably just never wrote her back. Never called her, never wrote her back. So her ego from that, it took such a big hit that she probably tried a few other little chumps to, probably to try to get her mind off of the hit that the main guy left. But at that point, her ego had been hit so bad and so hard that going on a show like this, she doesn't even feel it. Because she doesn't feel it. But yeah, I'm getting fucking hungry. I forgot I haven't eaten in a while. So, all black is FUPA territory. Yo, that's the thing, man. In North America, man, like, the black women who are good, dude, they get taken real fast. Like, you don't see, they don't last too long. The ones who are, like, genuinely mentally okay and physically okay, that's a rare species, and they get taken up real quick, dude. Real quick. Oh, and yeah, most of the rest of them, yeah, FUPA. If the FUPA, you talking about the belly that hang all over, that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of when I hear FUPA. What's up, CGI Life? But yeah, man, I'm getting I forgot I haven't eaten in a while, so I gotta go. I gotta make some food. So yo, I'll catch y'all later, man. I'm gonna get off here. Yo, thanks everybody who liked and donated and commented. Yo, I'm getting ready to log out. So I'll catch y'all later, man. I'll try to continue this either tomorrow or Thursday. Real quick, right? Rana says, Lisa Ann has been looking less attractive now. Do you think she's a 5 now? I got to think for white bitches, but let me look at her. Because she looked like Sarah Palin. Is that her name? Oh, yeah, she's probably degraded a bit. Oof, yeah. No, that's just the lighting. That doesn't look too bad. But she's aging. She's definitely aging up. Yeah. She's aged. This is 2018. You can see the wrinkles in her face. She was always a little. I mean, for what she is, she's holding it together for sure. I'll give her that. She's holding it together. But she's just aging up. So that's not like a proper assessment, because she's just getting older. Like with Pamela Anderson, like to be that old and hold together in any way, I can give her some credit for that. But, yeah. So, yeah, I can't, because she's like, how old is she? She's got to be, she's 50. Oh, she is fucking great for 50. I can't even make fun of her. She's fucking 50. Let's see, current picture. Well, it's all going to be altered. For 50, she was great for, oh, that's not Sarah Palin. I mean, Sarah Palin, it's Lisa Ann. Yeah, she's always going to, oh, yeah, is that the filter shit? I can't roast her. She's 50, man. She's holding it together. I can't even roast her for that. She's just aging, and she looks great for 50. I can't even make fun of her. This is the real Lisa Ann. I can't even make fun of her. But yeah, I'm out, man. I'm gonna try the live stream tomorrow, Charlie Guns. I'm gonna try, but I can't promise anything. But yeah, I'm out. So I'll catch y'all later, man. I gotta eat something. I'm fucking starving. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace out.